Hello friends, my name is Dain Miller.
And I'm Nels Spain, and we are your fuck buddies. Welcome back to this closet.
We're just a couple closet boys. A couple summertime, no sleeves closet boys.
It's true. We're both in various states of undress.
Yeah, at some point in time we're going to do like an episode.
Just butt naked.
Almost naked. Like one of those 40-degree days.
Wearing nothing but oil.
Yep.
So it is, I believe, our 40th episode.
It is episode 40, yeah.
And this week we decided to do something special. Yes, we're going to still read questions, but the questions are our ones, and you're going to answer them. What's going on here?
How do I have sex without a condom?
What's that in your hand? Why are you doing this? What did we do to you? When? There we go. That's all my questions.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We have
fucking
a 40 episode?
Yeah.
40 episods?
We're almost...
This is stupid.
halfway to 100.
That's stupid.
Yeah. We're 3/4. No.
Of 120?
We're 3/4 of the way to halfway to 100.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Why
We're
not?
4/5 of the way to halfway to 100.
Yep.
Not 3/4.
That's correct.
Yep.
And that's why I'm podcasting and not
Mathing.
accounting.
Oh god, just go.
Well, we have a bunch of submitted questions
yeah!
this week. We have a ton of them.
Alright, so this is from Agent Cobra. So I've recently met the best friend of my best friends. He's wildly attractive, and I've known this for a while, as per cyber creeping, but had never met him before because he lived pretty far away. When he first saw me, he was apparently immediately attracted to me. After spending the night getting to know him, I found out he's kind of a relationship guy. He mentioned many times he's looking for a girlfriend. I am not at the point in my life currently where I'd like to entertain the idea of being in a relationship. That being said, I'd love to have sex with him. I know there's mutual attraction there, so my question is it morally wrong to sleep with him? Seeing as how he's my best friend's best friend, I'm wary in case he doesn't want to begin a relationship. Am I overthinking? Do I still try to have sex with him?
I mean, like, you're consenting adults. My thing is, if you want to have sex and he wants to have sex, and you have sort of like as long as you know what I mean, like if the only conversation you've had about relationships is him wanting to be in one, or like
just
actively
kind of
looking
in
for
general,
one, and you haven't mentioned that you don't want one, I would maybe bring that up first, some way, you know what I mean? Because I think like if you had a conversation about relationships and one person has expressly been like, I really want to get into a relationship, or like I'm actively looking for a girlfriend, and then you start sleeping with them, that seems like you're on the same page. You know what I mean? In terms of like, to then turn around and be like, oh, I have no absolute plans of being in a relationship. I feel like that would come out of left field for him if you knew he was looking for a relationship and you haven't thrown like your hat in the ring on where you stand there. That's the only thing I would say is... So like
cover your bases by mentioning it.
Yeah.
Casual conversation first.
Yeah. Or like, you know what I mean? Like go on a date and it'll come up eventually again, I'm sure. And like just mention that like, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship, but I am 100% attracted and down to take you to Bone Town.
Collate you into the mattress.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if you flip it around, like, imagine if you were like, hey, I think I'm going to sleep with someone, like, I guess we're in a relationship then, right? Or, like, you know what I mean? If you flip it around and, like, imagine from his perspective, if he was to think that just because you slept together, you're going to have a relationship, I think that's kind of fucking insane.
But think of it, how many times have we had sex casually with someone who thought that it was, like, going to lead to a relationship?
That doesn't mean it's not insane.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, yeah, the danger's there, but you can't let that affect the fact that, like, it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, you should.
I'm just saying that, like, they've already had a conversation.
No, again, totally cover your bases, but I think, like, you can't get in this kind of, like, preempting what they might think bullshit, because realistically, it doesn't make sense to be like, yeah, we're in a relationship after fucking once.
No, I don't. Again, I don't think this guy's gonna like try to relationship. I think like he's made it clear what he's looking for, and that's a relationship.
Yes.
So to pursue any relationship, even if it's strictly, like, she wants just a strictly sexual relationship.
Yes.
If she doesn't discern that, or if she doesn't make that clear, then it's very easy to assume that, like, you're on the same page.
Well, what I'm saying is, yeah, I agree with you saying, like, by all means, like, drop some shit in casual conversation, but I do think, like, you don't even necessarily need to do that, because also relationship questions are things that come up, like, after. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have sex, and then if it comes up, you can talk about it. If they assume you're automatically in a relationship from the start, that's insane. And if you don't because of that fear, that's also insane.
But I feel like you're going from 0 to 100.
Yeah, but I'm agreeing with you as well. But what I'm saying is like you can like hedge your bets a little bit at the start and like give them an inkling. But like it's well, I'm giving you dramatic examples because those aren't going to happen. So you can go and you can sleep with them and then it'll be fine. And as you move on, like that chat will happen.
But I feel like they've already had that chat, kind of like a
No, you mentioned it.
precursor.
You even said it yourself. There was like this casual kind of like. There's a different thing between like just talking in general and talking to somebody about something. You know?
Yeah, but like, I think it's very obvious that like that was directed at her. At least, like I assume it would be.
I would assume not because I don't know. I also think people who are just like I want a relationship are kind of insane.
I mean, yeah, that's got its own red flags to like actively be looking for a relationship before meeting someone. Is
and that's the thing is like that would turn me off somebody so much because I'm like I'm not even sure I would trust them if they then want a relationship with me because I'm like, do you like me?
Yeah,
or do you just want a relationship?
Yeah,
like, do you want to just tick that box?
Exactly,
because that's not how they work.
No, and like I think especially because they are part of what I assume is your social group now. You know what I mean? You definitely have to sort of like cover your bases and just be like, because like it would suck for him to be like, oh, like we had this conversation and I said I was looking for a relationship and then she pursued me as a romantic partner and now she's saying she has no interest in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like that will get sticky within your friend circle. I think that's my like big thing is like you really need to cover your bases because like there's a lot more because like if it doesn't pan out with this one guy, you can be like, well, I met him on Tinder. Fuck it, like I'm sorry we crossed wires, or I'm sorry you've made like an assumption.
But there's no collateral damage, right?
This is the thing. It's like you can walk away from that if they're off a dating site or like someone you meet in a bar or something. But if it's someone you're going to see like every time you go out with your friends,
or they might get also hurt if they think that you've done wrong by that person.
Exactly.
So, like again, there's no harm in covering your bases, but like I said, do it.
Yeah, by all means. If you guys get on the same page.
Boy. Also, who knows? Maybe when you get to know him, you'll want to have a relationship. You know, like how normal people do it.
Like a normal person. Yeah.
Get them to listen to this episode and fucking cop on.
Yeah, just
love the person, not the title.
I would love to know, like, because all of our questions are filtered through the question askers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
and
experience.
Their own prejudicial biases.
So I would love to know. I wish I could like rewind back into that moment and like hear what that conversation was.
Well, that's one thing that I wish we could do is in general, like no matter the question, there's always like some context missing, if not a lot. Like sometimes we're like, how did this happen? Like we need more, but in general, you always miss something. So
because I was called out by I started sleeping with like sort of a friend of a friend. They weren't like super close and I wasn't super close with that friend, but like we did enough at the time to like make it awkward if things went south. And she'd like actually set me up with her friend, and it was cool and like we had a great time and I made it very clear from the beginning that I was not looking for a relationship. And then like 2 weeks later we had the whole I got the whole like what are we question, and I was just like, well, exactly kind of what we said we were at the start. And
so,
like,
so you weren't lying?
It just imploded, and everyone got so pissed. And like, because I heard from my friend who introduced me to the other woman, like how it all went down. I was like, that's not how it happened at all. Like, so I would love to know, like, especially when it's like my friend told me this kind of thing. I would love to know the whole story.
Maybe we'll find it out one day.
Maybe we will. This comes from Reddit user, You're a Complex Man.
Thank you.
They ask, am I faking it? This may sound crazy, but I'm not sure if I'm faking it or not. When I masturbate, I rub my clit.
Deception so deep they're fooling themselves?
Yeah. When I masturbate, I rub my clit and can orgasm fairly easily. But with penetration sex, either the orgasm is very different, or I'm deluding myself into thinking I'm having an orgasm. I have faked in the past too, which I feel very guilty about, and would really like to avoid it in the future.
God, I wonder if this level of overthinking might also hinder their orgasm having. But also, they do feel very different, so that's one thing.
Yeah.
But also, secondly, this level of overthinking is not doing you any favors.
But here's my thing, it's like...
Also, if you orgasm, you know, right?
Like, if it feels like an orgasm, what does it matter if you're faking or not? Like, it's a visceral experience. Like, it's a tangible
Yeah.
experience that is happening to you. So if you are having the sensations of an orgasm,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not you've manufactured it in your mind or are physically experiencing
Yeah.
it, if you're having it, whatever it is, then it's happening.
But is it? How do you know if you're faking? If your brain is faking?
But what does it
these
matter if
signals?
you are feeling that
I'm
pleasure?
entirely agreeing. Again, this is the kind of
Imagine
thing.
you could just like will an orgasm, like just
Yeah, then you've unlocked like the biggest superpower.
Yeah.
Like if you're faking, like you're just producing one in your own body. Who cares
Oh,
where
yeah.
it comes from?
yeah, and because then
Literally.
you're not faking it. So like faking it with your boyfriend is actually allowing him to satisfy you.
But also the
You've
best
solved every sexual problem.
the best thing is they said they faked before, which means that they're not faking now. So why do they think they're faking?
I don't know. It's such a bizarre question.
This is one of those ones where I would love to be able to jump into, again, more context. Like, it would just be like, okay, hold on, we're going to pop in here, feel that orgasm, and come back.
Yeah.
And be like, that you didn't feel anything? She's like, oh, yeah, I was wondering. Or you're like, yeah, I was fucking flailing.
yeah.
I done knocked that guy out with my feet, so...
Again, it's like, oh man,
how do we answer this?
I don't think I've ever kind of like looked down and been like, did I just come? I don't know. I have no idea. And like, granted, I don't have the body or the anatomy of a woman, so I don't know.
Hey, you don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I have legs and arms.
That's pretty much what most women have.
I know.
So,
Well, damn.
you're wrong.
Yeah, I
Frankly.
guess. My thing is, it's one of those
The
things
thing
where
is,
it's like, if you know if you're faking it or not, and again, if
If it feels
you've-
really good, that's a fairly good indication that it's an orgasm.
yeah, if
And
you
also,
think you're having an orgasm, if you feel something that feels kind of or like orgasm adjacent, then fucking ride that wave. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
I wish
and
I
also-
could have an orgasm that wasn't an orgasm, so I could continue fucking.
right? Yeah.
You imagine if I could just like,
Be like, oh, I don't know if I'm
Feel-
faking, but oh wait, I'm gonna have one later anyway.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
it's so good.
Also, just like the thinking about it is also not gonna help.
No,
So, oh man, this poor confused lady.
I know. You just kind of have to like do a hard reset.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Just it doesn't matter.
No.
If you're enjoying yourself, that's it. There's no like, there's not gonna be someone walking and be like, whoa, 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 you're not there yet. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, there isn't
Okay.
like a orgasm inspector who's
Yeah,
gonna
like,
like
nope.
kick down your door and
Continue.
audit your orgasms.
Just like looking at your boyfriend like, she's not there yet. He's like, oh jeez. He's like, you don't roll those eyes back. You look
just
at him.
sticking like an orgasm thermometer in her, just seeing where she's at.
And you may convulse.
Yeah,
You're good.
You're
If you're
good.
having fun, you're good.
you're fine.
Let yourself go. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the subreddit. Am I the asshole? Mother shit. It got deleted.
Damn it.
Oh, and also they've been deemed an asshole.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did you see the one? So I found this subreddit. It was a guy talking about. We're gonna go off script here for a second. It was a guy talking about how he was on a date and his date. As soon as they asked for the bill, he was like, "Should we split it?" And she was like, "Yeah, let me go to the bathroom." And she went to the bathroom and just fucking bounced on her bill.
What an asshole.
And the thing was he was like, he invited her to coffee and she insisted on going for dinner.
Wow.
And he was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And then when it was time to like pay the bill, he suggested they split,
Yeah.
and then she just fucking bounced. But apparently she was a regular at the bar that had a tab. So the guy went up to the bartender and was just like, "Hey, so I was supposed to split my dinner with my
Yeah.
date," and he's like, "Yeah, she's an asshole and she never tips, so don't worry about it. I'll make her pay next time she comes
Nice.
in."
I wonder if it was in Toronto, because I used to have someone come into a bar I worked at, and she would always have a different date, like all the time, like 3-4 nights a week, which, whatever, no harm in that.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned pretty quickly to, like, you want to have people's back and, like, not be like, oh, hey, I saw you
Yeah,
yesterday,
yeah.
And she always came and she would arrive like half an hour before the guy and start drinking. And we had like $16, $18 like cocktails.
Yeah.
So drink these Black Manhattans and just keep going. And once the guy was like, "Hey, will we split it?" And she like lost her shit and was like, "Are you joking? Like, what the fuck?" And like did not want to at all. And he was like, this is like, he racked up $40 before he even got here. And
Yeah.
like, he was like, I feel like this is fair. And she was like, we're never going out again. Didn't tip, was like so upset to be paying. And I was like, you get like 5 free meals a week. Like, what the fuck? And yeah, like anytime she ever had to pay, she was like, I actually have a question about this.
Just like I don't know how, it was just like a screenshot of like a newscast, and it was like 1/3 of women only date for free meals. I was like, cool.
I'm just going to paraphrase this one because I remember most of it. Am I the asshole for cooking my Muslim date non-halal meat after he said he doesn't eat halal? My friends think I'm a major ass. Which is actually bad enough already, but not quite what actually happened. Where she met this guy who was Muslim, and he said he didn't eat pork, and she asked if it was for religious reasons. He said no, it's just like a personal thing. And then when he came over for dinner, she was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to sway him, so I'm just going to cook pork and not tell him.
Whoa.
And then when he eats it, it'll be so good, he'll be shocked. And it'll be a nice, cute surprise, because I'll introduce him to pork. Which is just the stupidest fucking reasoning.
That's crazy.
He took a bite, was like, what is this? And she was like, it's pork. And he was like, oh, that thing I told you I don't eat. She was like, but not for religious reasons, right? And he was like, I'm out. And she's like, it's not religious, so it's cool, right? No. You can't. Firstly, I'll answer the question. Yes, you're an asshole.
100%.
It's like,
it'd be like every time I made dinner for Amanda, I just snuck a little bit of meat in there. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
you thought it was good? Well, guess what? It was meat. It's like,
it's like
people make these choices for a reason.
yeah, you don't get to decide, like, you don't want it, but you really do. Like, maybe it is religious reasons and they don't want to just get into it with you.
Especially in this, like, political climate and shit. You know
Even
what I mean?
if it isn't, you can't just discard somebody's fucking preferences or opinions just because you think, like, I can't be like, you know what? I'm just going to pour a pint of milk down your throat because I feel like you'll like it. It'll be a nice, cute surprise.
Once you, like every time you come over, it's like, I'm going to pour you 2 ounces of apple juice.
Yeah, like, no, I know you say you don't like apples, but like, I think
when was
you
the last
do,
time
though.
you had apples?
Yeah,
though?
and it's like, I'd be throwing up on your floor, and I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
this is not okay.
And I'd be throwing up through my butt.
Yeah.
If I drank a liter of milk.
This would be hot. Let's do it.
No.
Well. Yeah,
I'm sure someone somewhere would love it,
you probably.
but
It, like...
I would not.
This can be a quick question. If someone says they have a preference or, like, a dietary restriction, you don't get to choose that they
I
don't.
mean, we can broaden that out to just be like, if someone says they don't want to do something,
well,
you
yeah,
don't
flat
get to
out.
force it on
Yeah,
them.
it's, and, like... no, just don't.
Because this can translate to like pretty much anything in a relationship, like especially sex and stuff. You know what I mean? It'd be like, imagine she was like, "Oh, I'm not into anal," and he's like, "Religious reasons?" I was like, "No, like it's just not my preference." It's like, you know what? I'm gonna slip it in her butt tonight, and like she'll be like, "Whoa, anal's actually great."
Yeah. I honestly don't like being beaten during sex. Oh, is that because you're Catholic? No, just because I don't like...
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it.
Come into my boudoir.
Oh, you just haven't been beaten properly yet.
Oh, man. Like, no. Just, people, get your shit together. And then the fact that they go online and still are like, but was I in the wrong?
Yeah.
But was I?
Yeah. I mean, that subreddit itself, again, I'm going to go off script. But one of the other posts was like, is the lady sprayed these kids who were like, went into her backyard and like fucked up all of her strawberry bushes and were stealing her strawberries.
Yeah.
And she's like, I grow them so I can like make jams for like community, like my neighbors and shit. And then the like parents of the kids came back and were like, you sprayed our kids and you ruined their like iPhone 10 and yada yada yada. And then apparently she was like,
I was just meme horned out of there, like,
she literally was like, if you don't get off my property, I'm gonna spray you too.
yeah.
And I was like, that's
The thing is, like, what I love is there's very rarely a question. Like, you're very rarely like, ooh, are you the asshole? You're either just 100% the asshole, or you're like, no, you did exactly what you needed to do.
I know. I can't imagine being like in the position of someone and being like, you did something completely harmless to my kids who were trespassing and stealing your property.
Yeah.
It's like, they're in the States. Like, she could have shot those bitches. Like, I mean, like, I don't know the rules.
She probably should have.
But I was like, imagine finding out, like, if my mom found out I broke into someone's property and was stealing shit off their property.
Oh man, I'd wish being sprayed was all that happened.
Right?
I'd be dead.
Yeah, my mom would like...
She would beat the fuck out
She
of me.
would literally make me go back there and plant strawberries and like tend that garden for the rest of my
I'd turn
goddamn
around and
life.
that old lady and my mom would be sitting down having a cup of tea, spraying me while I'm just fucking like, you know, digging out fucking strawberry patches.
Exactly.
I'm gonna cut into my question about splitting bills, if that's cool, because we just talked about that thing. This is by Cheapish0619. Girlfriend called me cheap during a disagreement, and it's making me rethink a relationship. It's a little long. I'll try read real quick. I'd say that most of the time when we go out, I usually cover the bill and Venmo request her later. Sometimes I'll treat her something, sometimes she'll treat me. Overall, I'd say I cover about 60% of expenses, she covers 40%. It's roughly equal. Also make about the same amount of money. A few days ago we were at dinner and I mentioned that my 1-year mark at my current company is coming up soon, so I might get a raise/promotion. She jokingly said, "Oh, so that means you'll get to treat me to more stuff, right?" I responded, "Ha, keep dreaming, babe," jokingly as well. Later on, the topic of paying came up, and she mentioned how she hates it when I Venmo request for everything, and she wishes I treat her more often. She said it was kind of cheap, and I agreed with her, saying she knew this from the beginning. I asked why exactly I should pay for most of her stuff when we make the same amount of money, and she said, because men and women aren't equal in society, it makes sense that you as a man should pay extra to make up for the inequalities women face. Which honestly baffled the fuck out of me, because if I wanted my money to go towards women's inequality, I'd give it to a charity or a shelter instead of buying my girlfriend extra drinks. Now, I can't get what she said out of my head. To her credit, she did apologize the next day and said she really didn't mean it, but still, now the cat's out of the bag, I can't help but feel like I'm being used as a provider, which is funny because I'm not even in a very high-paying field. Honestly debating on whether I should break up now. Am I overreacting, or is this a huge red flag? And he does say, edit, extra detail on the Venmo part. Most of the time when the check comes, she says, want to put it on your card and I'll Venmo you later. So it is understood we're going to split. It's not like I say I'm going to cover the bill, then Venmo her later.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you, oh man, it's tough. Like, I get it. I understand the whole, like, we've like fought for equality for so long, and there's still like this weird expectation that men are supposed to provide for women and like buy them shit. Like, it's a very, very weird, especially like anyone in their 20s or like most early 30s as well. Like, we're all making this, like, none of us are doing well financially unless like
none of us are gonna have homes anyway.
You know what I mean? Like, we're all sort of like digging with a holed shovel. So to expect, like, again, if you're dating a dude who's making like $300K a year, and you're making like $20K a year, and he's taking you to, like, you know, those restaurants where the bill is like $400 or $500,
yeah,
like, that's fair. I would be like, you know what, if we're gonna go here, you're treating.
And that's the thing, you've hit the nail on the head. If you're just like going to general places, whatever, but like if someone's like, hey, let's go to this 5-star like fucking fine dining place, spend $60 a dish, and like it's their idea, and you go, and then they're like, but you're gonna like cover half, right? And you're kind of like, oh, you're like, again, like if you're in a long-term relationship and you've both agreed to, and you also make kind of the same amount, like, sure. But in general, it's like, how can you straight-faced look at someone and be like, you just need to kind of like bankroll me?
Yeah.
That's fucked. Like, it doesn't matter what fucking gender you are, like...
No, it's like you take responsibility for your finances. And again, it's like, sometimes if like one of your partners is, for whatever reason, it's like out of work or whatever,
yeah,
and you've agreed to, or like, you know, you want to go out for dinner and they're like, well, I actually can't. It's like, well, like, I want to go out and like have a dinner out, so it's like, I got you.
By all means, treat somebody.
I got you.
But like, you don't get to then assume, like, you can be gotten, you can't assume to be gotten.
Yeah.
You know?
To then be like, we should go out for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to like suggest it, like,
hey, I'm unemployed, but like, let's go spend $80 a dish.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Like, Amanda was like, hey, I want to go out for dinner at like a really fancy vegan place. And then once we got there, she was like, okay, you got this, right?
Yeah, that would be like, not very nice.
Wait, what?
Yeah. But I also do, it's so fucked because, like, even, like, I've been in situations, like, so many fucking situations where, like, one comes to mind where a certain girl was out with a bunch of us, and we all went out on a night out, and everyone was buying rounds, and that person just never chipped into a round. So it wasn't even just me buying them drinks, it was me, like, you guys, like, everybody effectively bankrolled her the entire night, and then she was like, oh, you guys have to pay my taxi home because I don't have enough money and I can't get home. And then was just like, bye. I was just like, wow.
Yep.
That's it. And that was like the last time I even saw that person. Because that's so fucked. But people really do assume and like expect kind of that treatment. And also like, I feel bad when people do pay. Like, even if I know, like, I got the last 4 dinners, and someone's like, oh, no, it's on me, like, you know, you did this. I feel so bad. I feel guilty.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I'm like, it makes sense, but then I'll go out and be like, no, next one's on me, or I'll get you this and thing, and then I'm just like, it's completely eradicated, and I'm already, like, behind. It's so hard.
It's this very strange socialization of men of, like, our worth and, like, our validity of, like, a sexual or, you know, romantic partner is based on, like, how much we throw at you in a monetary value.
Yeah.
And, like,
also, it's not your job to make up monetarily for the inequalities of society. Like, oh, someone catcalled you, is that $50 for me?
Yeah.
Oh, someone also, you got passed over for promotion, is that $300 for me? Like, shit, like, I gotta it's not your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to not contribute to that and not be a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And also, it's not your, it shouldn't be your fucking prerogative to tax your lover because other people suck. Because that's kind of horrendous. You don't benefit, like, you shouldn't use the person you presumably love as, like, a fucking...
Because, like, what happens if you're dating someone who's also, like, an oppressed, like, race or, you know, sexuality or something? It's like, do you then have, like, a suffering off to see who is more oppressed and then figure out, like,
there's
the
nothing,
tax rate?
There's nothing cooler than a press off. Actually, we have a graph on our website, and it'll tell you how much your partner owes you because of social inequalities.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, try to check all those boxes, like... Maybe pick up a sexuality that isn't yours to, like,
that's
tip
the thing.
Scales.
We're gonna, on our economics podcast, we're gonna tell you how to, like, pick up extra shit. You know what I mean?
Min-max your oppression.
Min-max your. Yeah, I really think you do need to maybe not be in this relationship, or at least have a chat and, like, get it all out on the table, because it is not your job. The irony is, if you're like, oh, you need to bankroll me, but also, like, equality is you're not being equal to that person, but you're also kind of, like, saying you can't take care of yourself, which is fucked.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself a step back. Just, like, treat your partner well, guys.
Yeah.
Be equal in all things.
Yeah. And it's like, there's a sliding scale. If one of you needs help the other out.
100%. But that's not the conversation we're having.
Yeah,
like,
I know. It's...
Treat someone by all means. Be treated by all means. Look after somebody. If you make more money and you want to have a fancy night, do it. And also, if you want to get someone an expensive gift because you can, let them know you don't expect one back. By all means. But that's being fair. That's being equitable. That's being, like, open and honest. Not just like, oh, you owe me this now. All right, go.
This is by Reddit user Blue Thunder. My V literally rips off condoms. What can I do? Hi. Literally, I don't know what to do. No matter who it is with or what type of condom, literally my V will yank a condom off. IDK how to make it stop. I'm not dry whatsoever, so honestly, IDK what it is. Please help.
Stop saying IDK. Firstly, I think that's the real issue here. Yeah, okay, so you need to ensure that your lovers are putting these condoms on correctly. Put it to the base.
Also, make sure they're wearing the correct size condom. Either like, it can go either way. Either it's too big or it's too small. Because, like, if you have...
we need context here. Because I would love to know, do they apply the condoms? Do they supply the condoms? Those are 2 questions that are very important to this. But I've had you pull out and you're like, oh, wait, where's that gone?
Yep.
And it's really awkward, especially because I was kind of young, to then say, hey, just a quick heads up. I don't know where the condom is. I think it's in you.
Yep.
How about I ruin the mood, awkwardly fish around inside you?
I'm going to have to, like,
pull it out.
Scoop this out.
And honestly, I barely grabbed it. It was deep in there. And I did, and then there were pregnancy fears, and, like, let's just be fair. The whole thing sucked. And then I learned to put the condom to the very base of my penis.
Yeah.
So that's lesson 1.
You roll it down as far as it can go.
As far as it can go. And if it doesn't go the whole length, you done fucked up with the length of your condom.
Yeah, you don't have the right size.
And that needs to be remedied. Other than that, unless you have just, like, some crazy grip, which again...
maybe cool it on the fucking Kegels.
Yeah. Stop the Kegels.
Don't,
like, chalk up the insides of your vagina for extra grip. Like, I know rock climbing has taught you otherwise, but, like, you don't need to do that.
She says she's not dry, though. Because, like, my first thing would be, like,
Also
use
lube. Yeah.
Use more lube. I mean, like, at no point in time is more lube a bad thing. Like, you're never going to... I mean, yeah.
To be fair, unless you're one of those guys who are like, I go too long, it's probably fine. It'll make you go a little longer.
Yeah.
You know, you'll feel a little less, but
less friction.
You'll get over it.
Less condom fishing, which is
just wait till she's done faking it from penetrational sex, and then
well,
you can
maybe
just,
faking it, quote unquote.
You don't know. We don't know. Nobody fucking knows,
faking
man.
it?
But the thing is, what you need to do after is get her to spin a spinning top. If it keeps spinning,
you're in her dream,
and she's faking it.
Yes, fakeception.
Or you spin her on your dick.
Yeah, if she keeps going.
If she keeps going.
She keeps spinning around.
It's been fake this whole time.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah, the big thing here is make sure you have condoms that fit you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a one-size-fits-all. I know that is kind of like what is taught.
Which is fucking insane. Like,
Yeah,
I never even considered it.
Yeah,
for years.
The idea that there are, like, different size condoms and not just, like, big dick magnum and regular, like, no, there are more options out there. And, like, the like large form condoms doesn't necessarily mean you have a giant dick. It just might mean, like,
whoa.
Your dick
feeling very attacked right
is a different shape that requires...
My dick's a weird shape?
Well, so I'm going to tell you, like, reservoir tip condoms do not work for me.
What tipped condoms do you use?
I use the skin large, like, non-latex condoms.
And they don't have the reservoir tip?
They don't have the reservoir tip.
Why? Isn't that necessary to not burst them?
No.
You need the extra room for the jism.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have, like, space, but it's not, like, the like, you know, pointy bit.
Fair enough.
The little...
Pointy?
Well,
what weaponized condoms are you using?
The little, you know, nubbin.
Yeah, like the reservoir tip, like we've just talked about.
But yeah, no, it's like, for whatever reason, those condoms just do not work for me.
Interessant.
And it's one of those things where, like, just try some different condoms.
Yeah,
out.
try some different condoms, get it down to the bottom, and use lube. That's like, they're very effective for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, no one's had to reinvent them because they kind of just work.
I mean,
so,
again, maybe she just has, like, a crazy strong vagina. Or
are you like that movie with the fangs in the vagina, but your fangs are
say.
just coming out, so, like, it grips, but it don't, like, cut it off.
Or maybe there's, like, hands in there.
Wait, did one of your lovers once lose a hand?
Hold on.
Huh?
Maybe it's a pleuris. Maybe she's got a pleuris in there.
Oh my god. Do you also have a dry man's? Do you have flaky, like, pincer-like protrusions from your ribs?
If you ever sneeze, does it look like one of those, like, 25-cent
like sticky,
vending machine hands?
Just flops out of you picks up all the dirt from the ground?
If you do, that could be grabbing all your condoms.
Oh man, I really hope that people have listened to previous episodes.
No one will know what the hell this is about.
I would love a poll of people who, one, have listened to previous episodes, and people who, two, remember what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Dry Man's and Pleuris is the name of the episode, so if you really want to know what the hell we're talking about, go back and get that.
Yeah, the answer to our bullshit is to listen to more of our bullshit.
Mm-hmm. All right, hit me with a question.
Pick one or two.
2.
All right. Why are you smiling about? You ready for your fucking segment? Why are you giggling?
Nothing.
Dain's giggling so harder. Oh, mother shit!
Is it deleted?
Yeah. I need to. I know. Don't do it. I'm gonna add a little bit because I remember what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Girl I had feelings for fucked someone else.
That sucks.
Long story short, met a girl. They talked a little bit. They hooked up, and it had been a week since they'd hooked up, and they had been chatting, and maybe hooked up another time. And then she told him, like, "Hey, sorry, last night I slept with somebody else," and he is beyond upset.
I mean, I have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did they discern they were exclusive?
No, they didn't. And, like, in a comment, he finally admitted, like, yeah, we're not exclusive, but as if, like, that didn't matter.
So I have two, like, things here. It's like, why would you tell them?
I don't know.
That's a fucking wild move. To, like, imagine this, like, every time, like, when Amanda and I have talked about it before, like, Amanda and I started, we were open. Imagine, like, if every time I slept with someone,
everybody starts, like, they're open. Like, you don't meet someone, you're like, how about we just date right now before we get to know each other, just in case.
Well, I mean, like, when we were, like, dating, like,
I know, but like, I mean, when you're non-exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not exclusive...
If I then texted her every time I slept with someone else, or if she texted me
that's like rubbing salt in the wound.
It's just strange.
But
like,
no, it seems like you're doing it for you have an ulterior motive.
Yeah,
right?
like, unless you've, like... Because I know some partners who actually prefer to know when...
Totally.
You know what I mean?
If you have established that rule,
if that's the parameters of your relationship, yeah, sure. But, like, to hook up with someone, like... Imagine you went on a date.
If you establish that rule... then this wouldn't be a question.
It wouldn't be an issue.
That's the
At least
thing.
I hope not.
It's wild to me that someone, like, I do agree. The fact that she was just like straight up, hey, I don't know, again, context wise, because he seemed to be like in the run up to the story, was like, oh, I was messaging her, she was out drinking, and then like she kind of like dropped off conversation. And then the next day, so I don't know if he was like pressing and was like,
yeah, I mean, also this guy who seems to be absolutely distraught about the fact that someone that he met a week ago slept with once is
you don't own people when you've, like, if you're not exclusive, you're not exclusive. And yes, occasionally you've been with somebody long enough and you're non-exclusive, but like it might be but regardless, even if it is in like bad taste or whatever, you're still not exclusive. Until you're exclusive, you're not exclusive. If you don't want to sleep with someone, that's a personal choice. If you do, that's totally fine. Like, you don't get to be like, I know we're not exclusive, but I'm
not going to sleep with anyone else, and I expect you not to sleep
exactly,
with anyone.
because that's called being exclusive.
That's called being exclusive.
And also just this like ownership is so fucked. Like this level of like feeling like someone belongs to you, and you just have like, that's not okay.
And look, if it came up naturally, like, or if you pressed for it and you got the information and it's not what you wanted to hear, and then you start feeling jealous, it's like, by all means, you can be jealous. You know what I mean? Like,
the thing.
You're allowed to be, like...
I wouldn't expect you not to be.
Yeah, if there's ever a time when, like, again, going back to it, like, if I ever knew that Amanda had, like, hooked up with someone, it's like, yeah, that would sting a little bit, but then I'd be like, oh, wait, I slept with someone either that exact same night
also,
or, like, 2 days
even
or whatever.
Even if you hadn't, it's like you're not allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
You are flat out not allowed to be upset by this. Like, and again, you can feel upset, you can be jealous, you can whatever, but you can't act on it. Yeah. You can't then be like, you fucked up.
Or expect them to, like, reciprocate, or, you know what I mean, like, to make you feel better
or apologize because they're doing what they're allowed to do.
Yeah.
And like, again, I'm not going to say you won't be upset. Like, that's fine. But you need to get over it and realize that, like, you're not allowed to be upset. You don't own this person. You're not in an exclusive relationship. So, like, that's just part of living and dating. And, like, if everybody just picked one person and then was like, oh, shit, I just wasted 4 months. This didn't work out. That would be fucking insane. And also, we'd all be getting divorced all the time. Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hold on just a goddarn minute. That's not how life works.
We've talked about it before where, like, emotions are a very human thing. And you're allowed to feel them, by all means. But, like, you need to take a second of self-reflection and process those emotions and sort of, like, rationalize and see if, like, they are valid to express outwardly. Because, like, sometimes you get mad, and if you take, like, just 3 minutes to breathe through it and think about it and be like, oh, I actually have no reason to be mad, or, like, I have no right to be mad, you can still be mad, by all means. You can still feel that anger, but you can't then project it to anyone.
You can, if you act on it, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
If you just, like, feel it and then get over it, sure. That's, like, normal. Again, like, there's a lot of things, like, I'm sure people feel jealous of that make absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
And if you then get all up on your partner, you're an asshole. But if you just get over it, good. Then you're an adult human.
And it's one of those things where, like, sometimes I'll be annoyed or, like, you know, whatever. I'll feel something because of something that Amanda's done, and I know that it's not her fault, or, like, it's my own personal hang-up or whatever. And, like, sometimes I know that I just need to... I mean, this hasn't really happened with Amanda a whole lot, but it's happened in my other relationships where, like, I've been like, I just need a second. And I'll go for a walk. Because it's like, I know that despite the fact that I know I shouldn't be angry, or, like, I don't have I'm still going to say something fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, sometimes it'll take a minute,
and I need to, like, get away before I do that and let me, like, bring it down. And I, like, some people, that pisses people off. It pissed one of my exes off so much that I, like, if it looked like a fight was building, I'd be like, I'm going to go for a walk.
Hey, some people like fights, man.
Well, this is the thing. Some people think they are necessary or cathartic or, an integral part to resolve issues.
Some people, I think, just enjoy yelling at people.
And that's
or getting
also
their blood
the thing.
up.
You know what I mean? But it's like, they would hate that I would always, like, take myself out of the situation and be like, I'm going to have this conversation with you later. I'm not ignoring it. But if I stay,
just taking a breath and like
it's going to be about something that isn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, we're not going to talk about the issue. We're not going to fight about the issue. We're going to fight about some stupid little, like, misspoken word.
Yeah,
that's going to
just
spiral
like,
out of
when
control.
people have their blood up, sometimes, like, because a lot of the time, even if you have a row, and then like 10 minutes later, when like, you have to go to work or whatever, and you're thinking back and you're like, that was just so fucking dumb.
Yeah, or
So
like 15 minutes into the fight and you're like, what are we fighting about? Like, what started this? Because I guarantee you we are like 7 miles away from that point.
So do you want anti-advice?
Do I want
like anti-advice? I'm
like
looking...
your aunt has written in?
Yeah, my aunt, pixelized player.
Ooh.
No, like, this is some of the comments, and this is what not to do.
Oh, no.
Move on. Doesn't take a genius to know her actions will hurt you. She was selfish and didn't care about you as she claimed. You are right to block her. This is about your feelings. Let her cry about it. Look after yourself. Forgiving is pointless. She will do it again.
She's allowed to.
It's been a week, bro. You're not exclusive.
Again,
and then,
it'd be one thing if you guys were like, if just, Sunday morning you woke up and she was like, I fucked the best dude last night.
Well, I will say, the fact that she, like, depending on how she was like, yo, I just fucked a dude. Like, when you're not that close, you don't need to know, and you don't have a... But again, if it was drawn out or whatever, if she's just out of nowhere being like, heads up, had sex, like...
Yeah.
That could be a bit of a dick move, but you don't have to state to be exclusive.
No, you 100%
No, you should know and expect it. If you have sex with someone, expect them to be exclusive with you. Sorry, OP. No. And then someone goes, so nice to see others think this way. There's hope in finding a good man yet, lol. Oh my god, nobody agree. First off, fuck everyone who comes along with this, but you weren't exclusive bullshit. Well, that's technically true. That's not what this is about. No, it's...
Yeah, it's 100%.
It's 100%. These people all suck. And they got a silver for that.
Huh.
But yeah, no, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. People can do what they want. You can't just pretend. You can't just be like, I own you now.
You ready for something?
So I get another question.
Yeah. Good.
You want to?
Mm-hmm.
You interrupt me?
No.
Do we do one more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is
Wow.
Senpai on the streets. Girlfriend going on trip with male friend alone. Hi all. Recently, my girlfriend and I argue, but I'm going to keep reading. You want to do your thing?
Yeah, it's time.
All right, Justin McElroy.
I spent like all day trying to think of a song that I could sing.
That's the best you did?
Well, you'll see why it's relevant.
I want to fuck butts. I want to fuck butts.
You ready for this? This is a review.
She then proceeds to ask me
from my man Diesel.
What?
It's an in-house review.
Of what?
Too Small to Take It All, number 2. Is a rather conventional but enjoyable gonzo flick focusing on petite women taking on guys whose cocks prove to be a tight fit indeed. That's right. I'm reviewing porn reviewed by people who frequent porn DVD sites.
Hell yeah.
Over my years of reviewing adult videos, I've always enjoyed watching little ladies like redhead Tara Monroe, Gage, and Tiana demonstrate how carnal talents can far exceed physical height. And it's a pleasure to see the cast of Too Small...
Can you please read that again?
I've always enjoyed watching little ladies like redhead Tara Monroe, Gage, and Tiana demonstrate how carnal talents can far exceed physical height.
That is the
Poetry?
Most beautiful sentence I think I've ever heard.
We might get into something better.
Oh, no.
And it's a pleasure to see the cast of Too Small Volume 2 do the same. Most of these women barely reach 1 or 2 inches above 5 feet. But all are young, cute. Some girls, of course, are cuter than others.
Whoa.
In shape, and obviously undaunted by the guys. Dark-haired and sprightly Alexa gets cream-pied. But all the other girls take a cum facial, tight-lipped Amai, and is the least enthusiastic among them. As with almost any porno, your enjoyment of this video will be in direct proportion of how you feel about any particular performer, since none of the action here is too outstanding.
Ooh, ouch.
Right?
Is he talking about the dicks, the boys, or just in general?
I don't know.
Like, if you like the performer, you'll enjoy it. But by the way, all the fucks are lackluster.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Well, maybe not all of them. Of course, based on sheer numbers alone,
maybe not all of them.
I favored the threesome with redhead Miss Jensen and dark-haired Miss Elise, who is better known as Juliette Bardot, and has done some memorable work in Blow Me Sandwich 14, and That's My Girl. The double-action blowjobs, frequent position changes, and shared cum shot easily put their scene in a class of its own. That's not to say that the rest of the girls do lesser work, because the Doggy and Cowgirl Screwing by Nikki Rhodes is terrific stuff, and Vanessa Leone's pussy-to-mouth cocksucking is worth watching over and over again. I also enjoyed watching Cytherea lookalike Amia Liao smiling throughout most of her scene, and Miss Nicole has a fun-loving attitude which seems absolutely genuine. Still,
I feel
Olivia
like he was saying it is to say the other performances were lesser.
Still, Olivia and Danny really demonstrate good on-screen chemistry, and despite the lack of any extended girl-girl conduct, their scene...
Conduct?
Yeah, right? Their scene stands out among all others. Here's one of my favorite parts about this. Video and audio quality on the standard DVD is up to general studio standards.
Thank God.
Which is to say that it looks and sounds good.
Okay.
Bonus features include a behind-the-scenes clip composed of brief interviews with the girls, the always appreciated cum shot loop, photo gallery, and a set of photos, or a set of studio trailers are standard when it comes to most Gonzo titles, and this disc is no exception.
Oh shit.
Too small to take it all to. May have some small ladies, but their sexual prowess knows no bounds.
Wow.
That's your man Diesel signing off.
I would love to know how many people read these and are like, you know what?
Also,
yeah.
So it's rated out of 5.
Uh-huh.
What? Granted, given this review by Mr. Diesel himself, a seasoned veteran, what do you think his review would his score?
A 2.
You think you gave it a 2 out of 5?
A 2 or a 3?
After that review?
Yeah, because the thing is, he said some bad things, and then he always kept being like, oh, but not really, because I think he didn't want to offend any of these ladies. I think he doesn't want to bump into Zarathustra lookalike, or whatever the fuck that was,
I believe
one day.
Cytherea?
Cytherea, so sorry. Who the fuck's Cytherea?
I don't know.
It sounds like a fucking bad guy in D&D.
It really does.
I am like, he keeps backtracking anytime he criticizes, so I feel like he doesn't actually want any of those girls to come across his bad review and not fuck him one day, because clearly that's what he's
whoa, hold on.
in the game for.
Are you Diesel?
Diesel?
Adult DVDs reviews?
Like, I know you said that my height didn't limit my carnal capacity, however, yeah, but I don't know, he doesn't sound like he loved it too much. Let me guess, it's a 10 out of 5?
No, you're actually quite correct.
Told you.
It was a 3.75 out of 5.
Okay. Not quite correct.
Well, you said 3, right?
I said 2 or 3, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were on the lower end of things.
Yeah.
I honestly, with that review, I would have expected to be higher.
No, I can read between those lines, man. Also,
to be fair, Diesel is a nuanced reviewer.
it's true.
A seasoned pro of years of review.
Does it tell you how many he's reviewed?
Let me tell you, when I first came up with this idea, I really wanted to commit to one person, but
It doesn't.
you can't like search based on.
There's got to be a way to do it.
There's got to be. I figured out. I will find all of Diesel's reviews. I have a few other of like.
Are they all also named after like petrol and shit?
No, there is one guy whose name is Pablo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's my
good.
contribution too.
A while ago, I wanted to do a segment where we read the comments on porn, but then we'd have to just like look up porn and.
Oh, let me
know
tell
what I
you,
mean?
I came up with this idea in a coffee shop, and I was like, I'll try to, and then I didn't realize that every porn DVD came with like the site I was using came with like videos and like thumbnails of all the scenes, and I was like, oh well, I can't be looking at this in public.
Yeah, no, you're banned from Second Cup, bud.
Yeah, I'm not allowed back. My original idea, I really wanted to review sex toys, but they're all very practical.
Oh, really?
Like the sex toy reviewers are all very much like, this is the product. I'm sure there are some funny ones somewhere, but in the multitudes that I looked at, they were all rather helpful.
Well, let's find out. This is extremerestraints.com.
That's where I was.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, I also went to Extreme Restraints, not expect. I thought it was gonna be like dummies, but it's like no, just straight up dicks in cages and shit. I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
cool. I need to not do this in public.
The Enforcer Black Wooden Humbler has 42 reviews. Oh no! Leather parachute ball stretcher. Okay, you ready for this? So this thing it's like, imagine stocks, but for your balls, that then stretch and pull your balls behind the back of your thighs.
Like a stocks, like your
medieval
head in the,
stocks.
yeah,
It's basically a wooden thing that goes around your balls and then goes behind and clamps onto the back of your legs to pull your balls down and behind your butt.
Yep.
Winston H, verified buyer. Humble block, too hard to use. Clumsy nuts and bolts, keep it simple. Jerry A, love it. Okay, wait, guess what Winston gave it out of 5?
Who the fuck is Winston?
Humble block, too hard to use. Clumsy nuts and bolts, keep it simple.
I don't know, because they both, like, he says that it's too hard to use, and then it says that it was simple to use?
No, keep it simple.
Oh, keep it. I thought it said nuts and bolts,
No.
keep it simple. I got you. I mean, like, I'm going to say a 1 star.
Yep, 1 star.
Yeah.
Jerry A, love it.
I'm going to say 5 stars.
Yep. Actually, better than I expected. Decent wooden hardware. Fits me well.
4.
5.
Oh. I feel like everyone's going to give it either a 1 or a 5, depending on their experience.
Are we just going to call it?
Yeah, we might have to call it now.
All right. Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities, for your song Paper Stars.
Yeah, and also maybe sorry for that last.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that reads.
If you have a question for us, or if you just want to reach out to us, if you have a DVD review that you want to send us,
or if you are in
devious
fact
ball stretcher,
Diesel.
Oh man, I wish Diesel had contact info. I'd get him to call in.
You never know, he might.
I'm gonna research Diesel.
Start reviewing his reviews until he notices.
He sees, yeah. If you have any reason to contact us, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook at FCK Buddies Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_Buddies, or you can hit us up on Gmail, fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com.
Shout out to Sarah, who just started listening and is on episode 3. So
yeah.
it'll take you a little bit to get to episode fucking 40, because what
Yeah.
the hell? But we also haven't missed a week, so high five to that. We're gonna die now.
I would love to know how many podcasts, like what the longest streak without missing an episode would be. We coming for that crown. Watch the throne.
Watch the fucking throne. Watch. Winter's coming. We're winter. Even though it's hot as fuck in here.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm coming or not. I might be faking it. I don't know.
Yeah, are you ready for some bad sex running?
Oh, you know it.
So guess what? We've got a repeat offender. And by that I mean James Joyce is back in the building, motherfuckers. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Are you ready for me to ruin what is commonly held as one of the best writers in the world for you? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I can read his shit anymore. Also, I was thinking about this on the cycle up here. Nora is somebody's grandmother. She might still be alive. Imagine you're like, oh, I was listening to a podcast, and then these 2 random boys in the closet start talking about my granny farting while she was getting fucked.
Yeah, the best thing would be like if your claim to fame, your family's claim to fame is like, oh, my grandmother dated James Joyce. Isn't that cool? And then
you're
this
like,
comes out. And
No,
because
I believe these only got released a few years ago. Like it's recent enough that people were like, wait a minute. This is the 16th of December, 1909. My sweet darling girl, at last you write to me. You must have given that naughty little cunt of yours such a most ferocious frigging to write me such a disjointed letter. As for me, darling, I'm so played out that you would have to lick me for a good hour before I could get a horn stiff enough to even put into you, to say nothing of blocking you. I have done so much and so often, I'm afraid to look to see how the thing I had is all after all I've done to myself.
What?
Yep. He's worried his dick ain't there anymore, because he just done wanked so hard. I have done so much and so often, I am afraid to look to see how the thing I had is, after all I have done to myself. Darling, please don't fuck me too much when I go back. Fuck all you can out of me, for the first night or so, but make me get myself cured. The fucking must all be done by you, darling, as I am so soft and small now that no girl in Europe except yourself would waste her time trying the job. Fuck me, darling, in as many ways as your lust will suggest. Fuck me dressed in your full outdoor costume, with your hat and veil on, your face flushed with the cold, and wind, and rain, and your boots muddy, either straddling across my legs when I am sitting in a chair and riding me up and down with the frills of your drawers showing and my cock sticking up stiff in your cunt, or riding me over the back of the sofa. Fuck me naked with your hat and stockings, on only flat on the floor, with a crimson flower in your hole behind, riding me like a man with your thighs between mine and your rump very fat. Fuck me in your dressing gown. I hope you have that nice one, with nothing on under it, opening it suddenly and showing me your belly and thighs and back, and pulling me on top of you on the kitchen table. Fuck me into you arseways, lying on your face on the bed, your hair flying loose, naked, with a lovely scented pair of pink drawers opened shamelessly behind, and half slipping down over your peeping bum. Fuck me if you can, squatting in the closet, with your clothes up, grunting like a young sow doing her dung, and the big, fast, dirty snaking thing coming slowly out of your backside. No. Fuck me on the stairs in the dark.
Oh, God, James Joyce, why?
Why would you say that?
Just fucking wrecking his dick on coilers. Like, that's just...
Fuck me on the stairs in the dark, like a nursery maid fucking her soldier, unbuttoning his trousers gently, and slipping her hand into his fly and fiddling with his shirt and feeling it getting wet, and then pulling it gently up, and fiddling with his 2 bursting balls, and at last pulling out boldly the Mickey she loves to handle and frigging it for him softly, murmuring into his ear dirty words and dirty stories other girls told her, and dirty things she said, and all the time pissing her drawers with pleasure, and letting off soft, warm, quiet little farts behind, until her own girlish cocky is as stiff as his, and suddenly sticking him up in her and riding him. I have come now, and the foolery is over. Now for your questions. And it keeps going. Oh, God. I don't even know. He starts...
I can't take it anymore.
Are you ready? 100,000 kisses, darling. I'll go back to my love, my life, my star, my little strange-eyed Ireland, Jim.
I mean, let me tell you.
Grunts like a pooing female cat, like pig.
The fact that he refers to himself as Jim in these letters makes
sense,
it better.
Because he does not want to be known.
Yeah, because James Joyce, like, and again, it might be me projecting what I know of him onto it, but, like, James Joyce has, like, an air of dignity.
No, it used to.
A man named Jim is exactly what I would imagine would write this. Also,
Dain, you just alienated every Jim who listens.
Yeah, until
Unless
they realize
they're real sex
until
perverts.
they fucking like look at their messages that they sent to their wife, and it's
like,
just
hey,
like, I
you
can't wait.
farting fuckbird.
I want to see how long that shit you can take is.
Oh God!
Yo, the next time you take a steaming curler in that bathroom, let me see that picture.
Did you say steaming curler?
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what he's talking about. It's just like this.
I know,
infinitely
but he
long
didn't
piece of
say
shit.
that.
I mean, he pretty much did in like ye old English. I will say from now on, henceforth, I'm only going to talk about anal sex as arseways.
Arseways is actually a really good term. I think that's actually one thing we can all take away from that. I'm not sure if we should take anything else away from that.
No.
But also, James Joyce, you dirty.
James Joyce, what the fuck's wrong
James
with
Joyce, you dirty boy.
I love the idea of him just like furiously masturbating.
Like,
also, why is everyone farting?
I don't know. Nora has the first confirmed case of IBS.
But here's the thing. He's talking about, like, yes, he's talking to Nora. Mm-hmm. But when he's talking about the nursemaid fucking the soldier, this is like a whole new character.
Yeah, but
and she
it's still
also
Nora.
farts.
Still Nora. She's also pissing herself, I guess, so I don't know what that's
I'm
about.
assuming...
Squirting, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think he means actual
But
urine.
also, if she's farting, all bets are off.
Yeah, I mean...
Have you ever slept with somebody who's constantly farting?
No, I've never slept with anyone who constantly farts.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think anyone has.
Are we the anomalies?
No, I think James Joyce doesn't understand how the body works. And
Nora got
Nora's ill.
She got some
Nora's
bad
probably like
guts.
cholera.
To be fair, I wonder how Nora went.
Cholera.
That's fair. You ready for some Dan?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Man, I feel like every time I see one, I want to read all 6. So yeah, Dan says... want to fuck a farting girl. No. Dan says... Can you get an X back after a year or more?
Oh, boy. Is that a recent one?
No, that was 2017. Which means he's been doing that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read two. Just under it. Should I send my ex good morning and good night texts?
You know what, Dan? Yeah, you should.
You should send her a letter in which you use the word arseways copious amounts of times.
Copy and paste James Joyce's fucking...
man.
Or Jimmy.
I should start doing that.
Old Jimmy Joyce.
I should go home and just, like, send it to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That'll be real funny.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Next episode, we'll be single.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole new perspective
So-
on fuck buddies.
How do I be single?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a new question? No, I just need to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this has been great.
Yeah,
Episode
my name
40.
is Dain Miller.
Thanks for speaking with us. We love you. And I'm not Spain. And good night.
And we're your fuck buddies.
Fart first.